What's up, guys? Welcome to Building Bad. I am your host, Cosmos. On each episode of Building Bad, I feature a ridiculous or flat-out terrible build suggested by viewers and see if I can make it work. Today we're trying to run Squirrel Girl as a summoner. If you've tried out summoner builds in Marvel Heroes, you know there are much better heroes for this, and that's because Squirrel Girl's squirrels cannot take damage, so they can't tank for you. Because of that, this can turn into a kiting build. In addition, the damage is very low, so overall it's pretty terrible, but it is very fun to play. It reminds me a lot of playing Pikmin, one of my favorite games growing up. Throwing a couple hundred tiny guys at big monsters is just so satisfying. So let's get into this build. Obviously, we're going to max out our summoning powers. The first is Squirrel Friend. This one gives you a chance to summon a squirrel with each attack and also determines the base damage of all your squirrels, so it's very important to max this one out. Sick'em and Squirrel Special Forces summon 5 and 8 squirrels respectively. We want to keep our squirrel count at max, which is 30, so these are a big help. They also grant temporary buffs to all your squirrels, so you want to spam them when they come up, even if you're already maxed out at 30. Squirrel Girl also has a few passive powers that scale with your squirrel count, so max those out too. Squirrel Cunning gives you crit and crit damage, and Squirrel Distraction gives you dodge chance. Then there are 3 other passive powers you should put at least 1 point into. Squirrel Love gives you life on hit for each of your squirrel's attacks. Spirit of the Squirrel gives you health, spirit, and spirit regen. And counterattack gives you a nice chunk of dodge chance. For our basic power, I've selected Squirrel because it has the highest attack speed and therefore will summon us more squirrels with Squirrel Friend. And it also pierces to hit multiple targets. So that's the build. If you go plug this in right now, you'll see that it sucks. You'll be able to run Midtown Legendary quests or green terminals, but you'll get crushed in Cosmics, and you'll be a liability in X Defense runs. I put a link to the build in the description if you want to suffer along at home. So to rescue this build, we're going to try to brute force it with our gear. First of all, I started farming for all the uniques. Most of them are quite good, and you can run the full set for this build. Your 5th slot, Iron Man Trading Cards, has a chance to summon Iron Man, and has summon duration on it. Very good for us. The 4th slot, you can pick either Squirrel-A-Gig or Tippy. They're both very good. Squirrel-A-Gig is more all-around stats. Tippy has collector boosts and +6 to your summoning powers. So if you need more plus ranks to your summoning powers, grab Tippy. The belt is also excellent with plus ranks to both of your squirrel trees. And the Avengers t-shirt has pretty cool procs that you probably want to put in here. The unique claws in this 1 slot are really for a melee build, so feel free to plug in a good cosmic instead. That's what I ended up doing. For enchants on these, there are no summoner stats, so I went with health and physical damage. This build really swings on your artifacts. The 4 that I'm running are Latverian Regalia, Advanced Latverian Regalia, Raptor Stone, and Advanced Wundagore Clay. This is the primary place to pick up summoning stats, such as summon duration and summon damage. Summon health is not important for our squirrels because they can't take damage, but it will help a little bit with your raptors and other summons. If you don't have a Raptor Stone, you can use Nutso the Squirrel or Squirrel Summoning Call, just because they fit the theme so well here. For blessings on these, you want to get Blessing of Frigga for another 10% summon damage a pop. For a medallion, Sinister is really the only choice. Perfect stat rolls are 20% summon damage and 30% summon duration. Ideally, you can find a cosmic one with perfect summoning stat rolls, but I haven't done that yet. For now, I'm using this epic one. The proc summons can also tank a little damage for you. The legendary slot is another great place to pick up summoning stats. Neptune's Trident gives you summon damage, health, attack speed, and run speed at level 3, which doesn't take too long to get. Level 4 and 5 give you some proc damage. Not bad. For the Uru Forged slot, I'm running physical damage with a Beastmaster rune word. This gives you even more summoner stats. It's really the only choice here. Currently, there are no summoner relics, so you can have your pick. I run Snake Root for the run speed, so I can kite a little better. Another good choice is Lemuria for the life on hit. For costume stats, I'm using plus max health. I found this to be the best for running cosmics, so I can take a few big hits without dying. For the costume core, I have a lifesteal core from the old days, but you can get by with either bonus health from potions or invulnerability shield, and pair that with the Lemuria relic. For the ring and insignia, I just picked up more movement speed, but these are spots where you can also look for crit, which is very good for this build. As far as hero synergies, only Rocket Raccoon level 25 is mandatory. This gives you 5% more pet damage, and then you have your pick. You can get defensive stats for kiting, or offensive stats for extra deeps. I like to grab collector stats like rare item find. So you've been watching me run Cosmic Sinister solo because I'm still looking for that Cosmic Medallion. The build is a little slow on damage, I'm sure you noticed, but if you're careful you shouldn't die. I hold my own in X defense on boss waves, but I'm still lacking that big AoE damage of like a Scarlet Witch or an Iron Man. It's also easy for faster enemies like Venom to kite my squirrels around. But overall, I'd say this building bed was a success. I'm able to do all the endgame content reasonably quickly. The playstyle is fun and fast-paced, and you have to pay attention to stay alive. Do you have a creative, hilarious, or downright terror-bad build that you'd like to see featured on Building Bad? Then leave me a comment below, link to the build, tell me why I should try it out. Thanks for watching Building Bad, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.